Welcome to The Explainer, where today we are unpacking how artificial intelligence is completely changing the way we all travel.
So, are you planning your next trip? Well, you might have a new kind of invisible partner helping you out.
And look, this isn't some sci-fi movie concept. AI is here, right now, and it's totally reshaping tourism from the ground up. I mean, it's influencing everything, from the places you find to the actual price you pay for your flight.
All right, so here's what we've got on the agenda. We're going to look at how AI is your new travel planner, the tools you can use, and how the industry is using it to grow. Then we'll get into the important stuff, like ethics and privacy, before we peek into the future.
Okay, first things first. Let's talk about just how big this whole thing is. We're not talking about a small little niche here. This is a massive, booming market. I mean, just back in 2023, the global market for AI and travel was already worth a whopping $1.7 billion. That's a huge amount of money being poured into tech that's supposed to make our trips better. But get this, that's just the start. The growth here is absolutely explosive. They're projecting it'll soar to over $11 billion by 2030. You see, this isn't just a little bit of growth. It's a full-blown revolution. So you hear about all this money, all this growth, but what does it actually mean for you, the traveler? Let's dive into the AI toolkit that you can actually use right now.
And it's probably no surprise who's jumping on this first, right? It's the younger, digital native generations. We're talking over 60% of Gen Z and millennials are already using these AI tools to plan their trips. Compare that to older generations, it's a much smaller number. That gap right there really tells you who's shaping the future of travel tech.
So what's the big deal? Why are so many people using it? Well, the appeal is pretty clear. Speed is a huge one. Getting instant answers, planning things faster, people love that. But you know what the number one reason is? Personalization. The idea that you can get an itinerary that feels like it was made just for you.
Okay, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows. The system isn't perfect yet. And the frustrations people have, they're actually pretty human. The biggest complaint? Getting bad or inaccurate info. Right after that, people hate it when the recommendations feel generic, like anyone could have gotten them. And a lot of users just feel like the AI, well, it just doesn't get them.
All right, so we've seen the traveler side of things. Now let's flip the coin. What about the industry? For them, AI isn't just a handy tool. It's a massive engine for growth.
Think about it. Airlines, hotels, even whole tourism boards, they're using AI for everything. It's the reason flight prices change in real time. It's how you get those personalized offers for a seat upgrade or extra luggage. It helps them slice and dice customer data for super targeted marketing. And yeah, it's also running those customer service chatbots.
And the money here? It's staggering. Airlines can boost their revenue by up to 10% just by using AI to get their pricing and inventory right. When you're talking about that kind of money, you can bet the whole industry is going to go all in on this tech.
So to see this in action, there's a cool case study from Kerala, India. They came up with this SMART framework, kind of like a roadmap. S is for sentiment, using how travelers feel to personalize things. M is machine learning, to predict where people will go. A is for automation, like chatbots. R is for real-time, fixing things on the fly. And T is for targeted content. It's basically a complete playbook for any travel destination that wants to get smart about using AI.
But with all this power and convenience, there's a catch, right? There's always a catch. This huge leap forward comes with some unseen baggage. And that brings us to the really important ethical questions we have to start asking.
I mean, look at this number. A huge majority of us, 71% of travelers, are worried about how our personal data is being used by these AI systems. That's not a small number. It's a very real, very widespread concern.
And yet, and this is the crazy part, at the exact same time, 2/3 of us are still totally willing to just hand over the keys and let AI plan the whole trip. So we're worried, but we're doing it anyway. What's that about?
Yeah, this contradiction actually has a name. It's called the privacy paradox. It's this weird gap between what we say we're worried about, our privacy, and what we actually do, share our data. It seems like for a lot of us, the promise of a perfect trip right now is just more powerful than some vague worry about what might happen with our data down the road. And that's a huge hurdle for doing AI ethically.
And it's not just privacy. We see the same kind of gap with sustainability. You ask people, and a big majority, 72%, say they support ethical AI. But then you look at what businesses are actually doing, and only 34% have really integrated those ideas. So again, there's this huge disconnect between the talk and the walk.
So here's the bottom line. If we're not careful, if we don't design these things thoughtfully, AI can actually make big problems even worse. This quote here says it all. A biased algorithm could just keep sending everyone to the same crowded hotspots, making over-tourism a nightmare, instead of suggesting awesome, less crowded places. It's a huge warning that just being efficient can't be the only thing that matters.
Okay, so where do we go from here? What's next on the journey for AI and travel? Let's take a look at how we can build a future that's both super innovative and, hopefully, a lot more responsible. The airline industry kind of gives us a sneak peek. By 2025, expect AI and those constantly changing prices to be everywhere. Then in 2026, new tech will let them send you super personalized offers directly. And by 2027, it gets even bigger. The focus won't be on just one flight. It'll be about optimizing your entire trip from start to finish.
So, to make sure we build this future the right way, experts have a few key recommendations. First, get public and private groups working together to innovate faster. Second, get better data, but, and this is a big but, with rock-solid privacy rules. And finally, we need to teach local businesses how to use these tools and get governments to support the whole smart tourism infrastructure.
And that leaves us with one big question to think about. As AI gets scarily good at building our perfect trip, the real challenge isn't the tech itself, is it? It's about us. It's about the rules and the ethics we build around it. So how do we make sure this incredible journey we're on is actually fair for everyone? That's the real puzzle we have to solve.